Hi everyone, I'm here today with my pajama pants. We're having a pajama party. I'm doing things a little bit differently today. I'm looking out the window and we're going to do a little bit of a nature scry. So I'm already opened up. I had to have a caucus among us with the forest spirit so that I could do this, and yeah, we're just going to dive right in. So here I'm seeing on the forest floor, I'm seeing a bunch of fallen logs. I'm seeing two that are crossing each other, and it looks like it's making me think of X marks the spot. It's also making me think of the rune Gabo. So there's something about a meeting of paths. But for some of you, those of you who operate in a paradigm of timelines, I'm going to say that this is almost like where you're perceiving that your timeline has shifted or crossed over with another one. For some of you, this is going to be significant meaning. For most of you, though, this is an X marks the spot. This moment in time is really important. And it's really important too. What I'm seeing here is the beginning of something. It's making me think of the Aleph. So it's really the beginning of something. There's also something about the number, because it's actually like a crossing here. So it's like your number's up. It's like it's your time with something. There's also a question that's going on in someone's head about why something happened, and feeling why haven't I heard from them. And now that is shifting into the rune Hagal. And so it's a tower moment has happened that's leading to this question for somebody. You're really going to want to clear that energy up, because you don't have time for it. You can't be holding that in your vibratory space, because there is a new beginning that's trying to happen. I'm seeing the hill now, and the hill in this forest floor, all the trees are like, the leaves are all gone, and it's covered with snow out here. So you may be feeling like you're in a little bit of a rest period also, but this new beginning is emerging. There's this hill that's coming up, and there's 3 significant steps in this hill. 1, 2, yeah, well, 3. I had to count it. 3. And so there may be 3 like phases that are coming up where you feel, or 3 significant things. Okay, there's 3 significant things that are beginning. Interesting. 3 significant projects for some of you, 3 significant areas of life for some of you, but there's 3 significant things that are beginning. There may even be something significant about in 3 months. There is something about the month of January that really plants roots down, and I think that whoever that is for, you're going to know about it, because it's, these things are, you're planning these things for January. There's a little bit of a new life energy that's coming in as well. So you're feeling like the energy, like new life is returning, even though you've been in this like winter period where things have been at rest. You already feel it happening. You feel like the life is starting to return. The ideas are starting to come. The energy is starting to return to you. Being drawn to the houses that are in the back. So there's something about home is far away, or our idea of home is far away. And I don't mean like your physical home. I mean that the feeling of like where I want to be in my life. It feels a little far away, and for some of you, there's trees that are hiding it. So it's like some things that we have to go through before we can find that sense of I belong. And some of you, it's even, I'm seeing it like across the street, and as I'm talking about it, a car just drove up the street, and it was a black car. So there's some sort of hidden element inside of our life, or some sort of twist that things are going to take before we're able to reach that space. We may not even know that we're looking for it right now, because those trees are hiding it. I think that someone's starting to get a glimpse of it, like, no, this could be better, or I could have this. It's a feeling of something that we're trying to direct ourselves towards, and we're starting to have it come into view. It's not about a project. It's not about a business. It's literally about a state of our life that feels like home. There's something about the road now is kind of significant. It's iced over on one side, so we may not, I think, okay, no, we do. Whoever this message is for, you know that part of you is kind of closed off, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I almost feel that that energy of being closed off in that way is actually what's helping you funnel your focus towards finding this idea of I belong, or this is home, or this is what I want my life to be about. There's some iciness there, so it's not being warm, right? It's not being warm and inviting to everyone that crosses your path, and you don't have to be, right? You don't have to be. There's there's also this energy that this is an iciness that is traveling the whole length of the road that I'm seeing from this window. So I think that this is almost like this is like an armor that somebody's carrying. I do think that whoever this message is for, you're well aware of what that's doing in your energy, right? Because if you're holding on an armor, it really does prevent certain opportunities from coming in. So for example, who this message is for, I don't think you're somebody that's trying to make new friends. I think that you have a goal in mind and you're really set on that goal. I think that you understand that you have to get from point A to point B and you can't have other distractions or outside influences at this time. So let's see, I do see that that mindset is going to take you up this hill and it's going to go fairly smoothly. It's just that there's 3 main areas where it's like things are taking off, and this is all leading to a point where you reach that place where you feel like you're at home, or you finally have the life that you want, or you have, you know, it's like this big goal. Again, it's not about one project, it's not about like one business, it's like a complexity. It's like there's complexity inside the layers of it. It's all encompassing within your life. Closer in the foreground to me, I'm seeing more leaves rather than snow. So there may be something inside our deeper spaces within us where we're kind of like turning over new leaves. So there's things that have processed in recent months, maybe even recent days, where we understand that certain things are starting to heal, or they're starting to rejuvenate. I don't know why rejuvenate's the word that's coming through, but and there's another thing that's going on here. I'm seeing some of the fallen logs. It's like in the shape of a triangle, but the bottom, it's like it crosses over each other. So we have that gable shape again. But more than that, it almost looks like the room cannot. So there's some sort of light. It's like the torch, right? So there's some sort of light that has illuminated the darkness, meaning areas in our subconscious that maybe we haven't seen certain things knocking around. We've seen them recently. And this is something that we're making some progress in overturning, but you may reach a point where you feel like you're not making any more progress, and that's temporary, because I am seeing more leaves beyond that point. It's like a lot of little realizations are starting to happen in these deep processes that's actually helping you up this hill, whatever this hill is. I feel that the hill is also symbolic. It's like something that maybe you've been working towards for a very long time and you haven't really gotten anywhere, hence that snow, right? That deep freeze. It's an area of your life that maybe you've really struggled with, but this is where you're starting to make progress. And I do see one of the trees over here, which this is kind of weird. I wonder what kind of tree that is. It still has leaves on it, and it's green. The tree's not alive. It's like the leaves dyed green on the tree, which is kind of interesting, but it's almost making me feel like that tree is alive. So there's almost something here about an illusion that's taking place. There may have been lots of illusions of thinking that things could grow in a certain way, and they just never did. There actually wasn't life in it. It's almost like something was soulless. That's kind of how it feels to me, like something was soulless. And then I'm being drawn to the sky and like the silhouette of the trees on the skyline. As things progress, there's going to be a little bit of a dip, but that's just normal, right? Whenever we make like lots of headway, there tends to be a little dip after that, and that's because the energy is recalibrating. So don't worry if you start to make a lot of progress and then things dip. Whatever you do when it starts to dip, don't freak out, because that sends things spiraling. It's a natural progress in life that things kind of go like this. It's just you want it to go higher and higher each time, but what happens is most people will freak out on that dip and they'll send it lower and then lower. So I think that whoever's message this is, you've gotten enough of a handle on your emotions and the perspectives that you choose to have that I think that you'll be able to ride that wave and direct it towards a positive place, because again, you're going up that hill. Okay. Free cards. Woo. Yeah, I almost feel like that confirms what I just said here. We have the High Priestess to the Queen of Wands, and I'll talk about why. And then one more card. Okay. Ooh. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so we have the High Priestess, the Queen of Wands, and then we're finishing up with the main energy being the Seven of Wands, which I love. With the High Priestess, this is really that person that sits back and observes, so they don't get too caught up in the drama llama of life, right? They don't really let the ups and downs of life pull them around anymore. And so someone here, you've attained a lot of emotional maturity, This High Priestess energy, this is one of my most favorite energies. Of course, doing what I do, it would be my favorite. because she really receives information. It's like she follows her intuition, and she receives the guidance both from within and from without, that sometimes people miss because it comes from a more subtle realm. There's very Piscean influences in this. So this is a person who, you've learned how to go with the flow and kind of recognize what is happening that's really in your favor as those ups and downs are taking place, because the downs have things that are happening for you too. And whoever's message this is, you've come to realize that there's been a lot of underworld shifting taking place, again, kind of what we saw. And this moves us into the Queen of Wands. This is somebody that knows how to create what they want, right? It's the Witch of the Tarot. She's got her black cat, and she knows how to direct her will. But the most important thing about the Queen of Wands is she understands how to work the matrix. She understands how to work her paradigm. And so she's got that sunflower. And if you think about the sunflower seeds, it's all those seeds that are arranged in this very neat, organized pattern. And the Queen of Wands is able to take chaos and she's able to turn it into something. So we had a reading a few readings ago that talked about that. I think it was on the public end. It was like that chaos and creation energy. And that's really what the Queen of Wands makes me think about, is chaos and creation, or creating out of the chaos. She does have these lions flanking the top of her throne. And so there's something here about the sun that's very important. So December 21st might be an important date for somebody if you're watching this when I'm posting it. And I'm going to say this, if you're not watching this when I post it and December 21st is already passed, I would be really looking at Leo season. That crossover from Cancer season into Leo season is going to be really important for somebody. There's something here about following the sun and how we've attuned ourselves to the solar movements. Now, with the Emperor card, this is all about self-control, self-governance, but also the governing of things that are outside of us. The Emperor is in charge of a lot, and he has a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, but he delegates that responsibility. For some of you, you may be in a position inside your life where you're starting to delegate those responsibilities to others. I don't feel like that's going to be the majority of you. One of the things that he's holding in his hand is this golden pomegranate. So he's throwing me back to the High Priestess, who has the pomegranates behind her. And this is really a symbol of health, of vitality, of life, of, in some ways, it's this enduring nature, right? This like immortal, enduring nature. And it's like a legacy that continues. And so I think that whoever this message is for, there's going to be some things that are coming up where you have some very big choices, because you're going to be given these opportunities or making opportunities for yourself that are quite impactful, not just for yourself, but for others as well. And long-term, they're long-term impacts. The Emperor is someone who is really good at discerning which opportunities to take and which opportunities to pass up. He builds an empire. So someone here, there's a little bit of that message is coming through, that there's this sort of empire building energy, and that this is how you establish that sense of home, of belonging. It's that since I don't necessarily feel like I belong, I'm going to make a place in the world that I belong, right? Carving out my own reality, constructing my own community, things like that. Here with the Seven of Wands, this is somebody who really fights for what they want. And I love this because we have this super passive card of the High Priestess, but we're seeing that it's very action oriented. And this, it's not really this passive energy where life is just happening to you. It's you're letting life happen to you and you're following the flow. But in that, you have this wonderful balance of actually enacting a plan. And this is why the Queen of Wands is the middle card here in the three cards that come out, because this is kind of what the Queen of Wands does. She's that feminine principle, and yet she has that masculine action added to her as a fire queen. So there's this beautiful balance of this feminine and masculine energy inside of whoever this message is for, where you're able to receive, but you're also able to do or give. Okay. Okay, and then we have the Knight of Pentacles underneath that. So we have the Hierophant, the Empress, and the Nine of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom. Whatever it is that you are doing in your life, like I said, I think that, it's been an uphill climb. It's something that's happening slowly and gradually, but it's with a very solid foundation. There's been some sort of life lesson that's been learned here with the Hierophant. Some of you, this may be clearing up, for example, generational patterns or familial patterns. It may be clearing up certain beliefs that you've had that were instilled in you or that you adopted that prevented you from having certain things or doing certain things or making your life a certain way. And someone here, because you've learned those particular lessons, this is what's helping you create your abundance or create your stability. With the Empress card, the Empress is able to take that love, and this is what things grow from. So while I do feel, and we see that here, that there is this iciness or this closed off aspect of self, which we see here with the Nine of Wands, which really represents fences make good neighbors, right? It's that boundary, it's that protective layer. It's still in perfect balance. Even this road that's out here, it's like perfectly half of the side, one half of it. There you go. My English isn't Englishing, is icy, and then the other half is completely dry and melted. So there's melted and dry. There you go. So there's something like that that's going on. We even have that balance reflected again with the Emperor and the Empress showing up. This perfect balance of the masculine and feminine energy inside of us. And with this Nine of Wands, there's this little... Okay, I'm going to say this because it came through. For some of you, there is something that you're going to make an exception for, okay? So there's something here that you're making an exception for. Tell me more about that. One more card. Okay, this may have something to do with the tower moments that I was seeing previously. There may be like an exception. Just beware that if you make that exception, especially if it's something from your past, which it would be if it's from that tower moment, that if it's confusing, it does not stay. Okay, just a little bit of advice from the cards. Yeah, okay. And I will say I was looking over at some banishing items as I said that. I feel that I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because it was something that came in before I started recording today. It was actually probably about 10 minutes before I was recording, and I wondered who it was for. I'm gonna say it because it follows the storyline of this last part to the T. So the rest of it that I got this morning was something along the lines of, some of you were connected to an individual. This isn't gonna be for everybody. So, and also don't force it on somebody, don't project it. This is for those of you who know, it's like confirmation. Some of you were connected to an individual who does practice, and you know that they practice, you've seen evidence that they practice, and they may have done some sort of work on you. They kind of like influences some feelings, right? So feelings are very easy to influence, and so just be aware of that. If you do have an individual coming back, really get in touch with yourself. And this is why this was a life lesson. It's very important to be in that neutral high priestess state and to recognize when you're getting pulled out of that. Are you pulling yourself out of that, or is something else going on? And, you know, in order to really assess that, you have to cultivate being a person who's not always projecting your own internal processes on other people, right? So, you know, not getting too caught up in that storyline. Just know that when this happens, allow yourself to get back in the high priestess energy so that you can make your own choices wisely and with discernment. Okay, what else is going on here? I do want to say that if this return happens, a little bit of an energy dynamics thing. Remember that anytime you are moving to a different energy, there's going to be an energy from the past that's trying to pull you back. This is just how it goes, right? Because every energy that you're in, there's like the light aspect, there's the dark aspect, there's a higher aspect, there's a shadow aspect. And the shadow aspect always wants to make sure that you stay a particular way. Whether you're viewing this as something outside of yourself, I would prefer if everybody viewed it as something inside of themselves, even if it's enacting through the outside world, right? There's this energy here where because you are making a change and you are growing, your own shadow may be constructing certain things in your outside reality to keep you stuck. So allow yourself to kind of be in that high priestess energy to see what's happening when it happens. This may be that roller coaster thing we were talking about, and to understand that if something does return from the past, it's just part of that down, right? And you don't have to follow it down. You can remember why there was a tower moment and allow yourself to continue on to new things. The past can't be the past if you're constantly bringing it with you. So in whatever form that is. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to leave that there. So whoever this message is for, you have some very beautiful growth that's coming to you. And if this resonates with you, hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment. And until next time. Oh, my roof is falling.